Hi, everyone, and thank you for taking a moment to watch this quick demonstration of how the exhibit hall will work at ILGISA's Virtual Annual Conference this year. So in this demo, I'm going to show you two different aspects of the virtual exhibit hall. The first one being the attendee view, and then the second part being the exhibitor view. So I'm going to start off by showing you the attendee view, how your booth will look to attendees of the conference. So what you see on my screen right now is an example event that was put together. This is not a real event. It's just for demonstration purposes. This is the homepage. So you'll see it gives a little bit of detail about the event, some sponsorship information, and a number of other things. So up at the top here, you'll see that there is an exhibitors and sponsors link. So if we hover our mouse over this and click on exhibitors, it will take us to the virtual exhibit hall. So this is what it will look like to attendees. Right now, this is sorted alphabetically, so that is most likely how it will be at our event as well. And I'm going to go in here and I want to look at Amazon's booth. So if I click on Amazon, it will take me to their virtual exhibit booth. So you'll see up here at the top, there's a description of what Amazon does. They have some tags in here for what they do as well. There's a couple of videos. There's a link down here. And then over on the right, you will see these three people here are the staff from Amazon that are attending the conference. There is a file for download. So if I clicked on this, it would download a PDF. It also shows what sessions they are presenting at right here. Up at the top, there's a few other options. There's this request info button. So if an attendee visits your booth and they would like more information, they could simply click on this, type in a message and send the request, and it would be sent directly to you. You'll also notice there is a button here that says enter virtual trade show booth. So what that means is if I click on this, it will actually launch me into a Zoom meeting. And we are going to have hours during the conference, probably, a few hours in the morning, maybe a couple hours in the afternoon, where all of the virtual exhibit booths will be open. So during that time, you or your staff members, or maybe all of you, will be sitting in your dedicated Zoom exhibit booth or virtual trade show booth so that attendees can come and join you and speak face-to-face with you right then and there. We understand that you don't want to sit in a Zoom meeting for 8 hours a day, so we will try to limit those hours so it's only a couple hours at a time that you're sitting there waiting for attendees to come to chat with you. So that is the basics of what the virtual exhibit booth will look like. I'm going to show you now from the back end what it will look like to you as an exhibitor, so how you can manage your booth. So I'm going to click over. Please note that this is still in development. This is not what the final product will look like for our annual conference. I just wanted to be able to show you or give you an idea of what it will be like. So here we are in ILGISA's annual conference virtual event. And up at the top, you see there is an exhibitors link. So when I click on that, it will once again take me to the list of exhibitors. Right now, there's no exhibitors in here since it's still in development, but I did put in a test company just so that I can show you what the back end will look like. So when you register as an exhibitor, you will be imported into this system and you'll be tagged as an exhibitor and linked to your company's profile. And when I do that from the back end, it will give you full permissions to edit or manage your virtual exhibit booth. It will not give you access to anyone else's booth. It'll simply give you access to your own booth. So I went ahead and I linked my profile to this test company booth. So if I click on this, it'll take me to the booth, but you'll notice there's a button up here that says manage. So when you go to your company's booth, you will also see this manage button. So if I click on that, it'll take me to this page where I can manage all of the content within my virtual booth. So I can change my company name if I wanted to. I can update my company's logo. This is where you edit the description. So you can put text in here. One kind of cool thing that this system does, if you paste a URL to a YouTube video directly in this descriptions box, it will automatically embed that video to your exhibit booth. So you don't need to, do any embed code or anything. You simply just put the link to a YouTube video and it will embed it automatically into your site. I could also add photos, I can add links, really whatever I want to do within this text box here, I can do that and it would show up on my booth to attendees. Here's where you can add some tags. So whatever your company does, if you sell printers, you could put printers in here. Whatever your specialty is, you can add tags, and this will help attendees search for your booth. So maybe an attendee only wants to see, I don't know, software companies. So they could search for that via the tags feature. Then once you click save, it will obviously save anything and it will go live immediately. There's nothing else. I don't have to approve it as an admin. It will automatically go live to the event page. Over on the right-hand side, you'll see team members. So right now we have myself here, and then my coworker, Megan Buchanan, is listed here as well. If I need to add someone else as a team member, I can do that. I can just click new member, type in the person's name, and click add member, and it would add them as a full exhibitor for this booth. With that being said, the person does have to be registered for the event before you can add them as a staff person for your booth. You can't just add anyone off the street to manage your booth. It does have to be someone that is already registered for ILGISA's annual conference. A few other parts that I want to show you. Up at the top here, you'll see a few different options. Right now we're in the basics tab. If I go to the leads tab, and this is one of the awesome benefits of having a virtual conference is the data, right? You're going to have access to a ton of data of people who have visited your booth or people who have requested more information from your booth as well. So the leads tab, these are all of the people that have actually requested more information. If you remember when I was on the, actually I'll just go back to it, this example page, there's this request info button here. So anyone who visits your booth and clicks request info, their information will be listed here in the leads page. If I click on this, it will show you the contact information of the person who had requested information. It also shows you their details of when they visited your booth, if they requested information, when and what time, things like that. So it's kind of nice to see. I mean, if someone's visiting your booth 20 times, clearly they're interested in information. You can also download leads via this button right here. So hopefully you'll have a ton of information, a ton of people that want more info listed here under leads, and you can download it to an Excel spreadsheet. So if I click on this, you'll see it's exporting a list. And shortly here, it'll give me a link to click on that will give me access to an Excel spreadsheet with all of the contact information of those people. Let me just X out of that for now. There's also a visits link. So visits is anyone that visited your booth. So even if they did not request information, it's still tracked that they visited your booth, and their information would show up here. Right now there's no records because the event isn't live. This is just a test. But it'll show everyone who's visited your booth. The only difference here is that because they didn't specifically request information, it will not give you their email address and phone number. It'll just show you their name, and it'll show you their company and then what time they visited your booth. So if someone's name is listed here multiple times, it will actually show you the multiple visits that they took to your booth and what time those were at. So I know it's unfortunate that you wouldn't get their contact information. However, because you have their name and their company, you are able to send them a direct message through this event page. So up at the top here, you'll see there's a tab called Conversations, and there's an inbox. So if I go to the inbox, it will actually let me search for any event attendee, and I can send them a message directly through this application. So even though you don't have their email and their phone number, you are still able to reach out to them through this application. And then maybe if they do want to talk to you further, they can give you their email and you can set up a time to meet. Another function on here is polls. So if I click on polls, it will let me set up a poll that would appear on the exhibit booth. So right now I just put a really simple poll in here. Do you like GIS? Yes or no? And it will show up if I go back to my booth. Let's see. If I go back to the booth, it will show up to attendees right down here. See, do you like GIS? Vote now, yes or no, and I can submit my answer. So whatever you guys want to put in there, whatever kind of poll you want, it's totally up to you. You can put multiple polls if you'd like. It's just kind of another added bonus to this virtual exhibit booth. Also, oops, where am I going here? Let me go back to manage. There's also a files tab here. So this is where you would upload any files that you want to share with attendees. So I just put a board meeting agenda in here for an example, but maybe you have a PDF flyer or a trifold, something that you want to share with attendees. You can add files here. You can add multiple. There's no limit on it, and anyone who visits your booth can download that and save it and look at it themselves. So that's the basics of the virtual exhibit hall. One thing that you won't see on here at the moment is the launch your virtual trade show booth button that takes you to your dedicated Zoom room during those hours that I mentioned earlier. Because this event is not live yet, you don't see it on here. But in order to launch your Zoom meeting, there's simply going to be a button that says launch virtual trade show booth. You would click on it and it would launch your Zoom meeting. It's very simple and self-explanatory. As the event nears, we will be holding some live trainings where I'll be able to walk you through the process of launching your Zoom room and probably go over the details again, kind of like what I did today. And you'll have the opportunity to ask me questions live so that hopefully we can make this a smooth transition to the virtual realm. So that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching this demonstration. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me. You can reach me at contact, CONTACT, @ilgisa.org, and I'd be happy to answer any questions. Thank you guys.